To another episode, and we have played on a little bit since the last time I saw you. This is the New to Pro series where I become a newbie to something which resembles a professional. Um, slowly. So, in the last episode, we switched from soybeans to canola, and we made some good money. I did sell that last June. I can't remember if I showed that or not. I think I did. And we got about 150 from this one field. Is that right? With the total harvest? Now, as you can see, I bought a roller since you've been away. One was discounted to 20,000, which was not bad at all. I've also made a few little changes to the farm, which I will show you later. Basically, I made a decision on the goats and what I'm going to do with that pen and something else. And I'm currently in the middle of seeding the fields. So these fields are done. The middle one isn't rolled, but the other one is. Honestly, I regret buying the roller. There's a reason why I avoid doing it, just because it takes forever and the yield's only like 2.5%. But I figured as it was cheap and as this would be one of the lower yields, I think this is the third year of of lime of the lime cycle, so this should be the lowest yield of the 3 cycles. I figured I'd give it a little boost. And anyway, I'm not going to do anything. Anyway, I can automate the seeding with the AIs, so I can just follow around with the roller. Usually, I would do a weeder, and the reason why I'm not in the middle field is because I have an AI doing the weeder in there, which is nice. That's the only field that has been weeded so far. So I'm going to go ahead with this. I will finish rolling this one. I'll move this, and I'll move everything across. I'll move that. By that I mean I'll move the weeder up to a different field, and I'll move this roller down to the middle field, and then we'll go and have a look at the goats, and I'll let you know what I'm doing over there at the farm. So I'll catch you then. So we're over by the wonderful sheep pen, and why I say sheep pen because, as you can see, I had a brilliant idea. So I was stuck in my ways in terms of the milk, which is here, which I obviously can't sell. So, when I thought about it, I realized that this is actually a sheep and goat's pet, and sheep produce wool, which I can sell. So, why am I wasting my time with goats? I feel like this is something that everybody would probably screaming out at me, anybody that got to the point of watching me deal with the goats. So, the plan is I'm going to slowly wait until the goats are worth $1,000. So, once they get to 36 months, I think. And I'm going to sell those out and just bring sheep in. That's what we're doing. So we have a couple of things going on here. So I only have 6 sheep. I think I've had them for 2 months now, and they've produced zero wool, which is a problem. But I'm hoping it's because they're young. I presume that it was because I presume that they would produce wool even if they were young. I could be wrong. They're only a few months old. I didn't get the expensive ones. So we'll leave that for now. But in 2 more months, we get rid of the majority of the other goats, and then we put more sheep in, and then we'll be able to at least generate some wool. So wool sells for about 2,000 a pop. If it produces at the rate that milk does, then that's quite a lot. I presume it doesn't, but that's the case. Also, also, I decided to build a greenhouse. Now I noticed that for $3,000, I think, which is very cheap, I can actually produce rice saplings, which sell for 6,000 for 1,000 liters, which seems crazy, right? So I thought I'd give it a go because 3,000 is so cheap. Um, and I mean, they only do 100 kg at a time, which isn't ideal, but they seem to do one a day, which means $6,000 a year. Well, a bit more than that, which is like double what you need. So what I'm thinking is that what I might actually do is just do a roll of these. when I buy the land down there and I build my farm and everything, what if I just had a big row of these? Then if I have 10, that's $6,000 a month, $6,000 a year. That's all for 30,000. That's what I'm thinking. So let me know in the comments if that's a bad idea. Also, I borrowed this. Well, I bought one of these, which is a mod, which does auto distribute to your greenhouses. So I don't need to do that anymore, which is epic. So yeah, set up as water, production chain, distributing. I don't think it's working for the sheep. Just double check. This should be full if it is, or pretty full. Yeah, so it doesn't work for the meadows, which is kind of sad, but not the end of the world. Um, but it saves me doing that there, which is good. So how cool is that? So this is what I've been doing, and I'm secretly incredibly pleased with myself. So I've never done, like I've mentioned this before, but I've never done greenhouses before. I've certainly never done rice before. Am I missing something? Is this not a good idea? Like it seems great. The other real good thing about rice saplings, if I go down to them, oh, I can also show you that the total yield of the last soybeans was 158,000, which is at least $300,000, probably more 320. So I'm very happy with that too. But if I just fly down here, the rice saplings they go for 6,000 in May, and they only fluctuate like $100. So I'm not even yeah. So I could just sell those. I could actually set those to sell. It wouldn't really matter. That might stop. It might at least cover my overhead. So exciting times. Exciting times. I can't see a problem with this. I really can't. So that's where we are. I've set the roller off in here. It decided to work, which is nice. And the weed is off in here. And then I just need to do the top field. So I think the selling season for soybeans is June. It is June. I know it's June. So I'll see you guys then. By then, I'll try and think about what I want to spend my money on. I don't. So before I get there, sorry. So the reason why I'm holding off, so I kind of want this to be my farm, the one just below the meat, like I mentioned before. It's $176,000. It just doesn't seem enough to really what it doesn't. It seems too much at this point to buy just to put a farm on. So I'm going to stick around with what that little thing I've got up there for now. Uh, but I do like the idea of it being there, which is 90,000 is a lot cheaper. Yeah, I prefer it here because I have the three fields there. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll think on that for a bit. Um, Other things I could do, I could finally um, buy the harvester. Now I did use this new header, which was a lot better, and I got done probably about 3 hours in-game time less than if I used the smaller one, which was good. It also seemed to perform a bit better. The harvester it seemed to go quicker on the field. Like it was closer to the top of like max the 10 mile hours top. So kind of live with it for one more harvest, I guess. But I'm hoping that this December. I mean, I'll have to live with it for one more harvest. But unless I lease something, which I might. But I'm kind of hoping that I get a discounted harvester to buy at some point, and then I might even just keep this and do two, and just use a little header for one field, etc., etc., etc. But that's a decision to be made when I have money, which I don't at the minute. So I'll see you guys in June, and then we shall formulate a plan. All right, so we're back, and we have lost all of our money, as you will be able to see in the top right corner. And the reason being this tractor. So what I've noticed, maybe because I use it a lot, and there's stones in this field here, but it needs like fixing every year or two. It cost me like 25 grand. I've also built more greenhouses. Shit, 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 shit. Oops, sorry. Yeah, so just destroying the field. Of course, I'm an idiot. Um, yeah, so I built some more rice things. For $3,000, like I can't see how it's a bad plan. I just can't. But we have some beautiful looking soybeans fields, and we have 156,000 liters to sell. How good is that? So that should be, if the price is 2001, I think it usually goes for a tree. No, oh, not yet. We'll get through here and we'll have a look. So I know. So I guess you wonder why the truck's still moving. I've got it on cruise control, and there's a lot of straight lines in this map, so I can generally play around in the menus whilst moving, which I like. I like a lot. We're in the wrong menu. Let's go up. I wish there was a quicker way to scroll with the PS5. 2000, 2,168. So 156 times 2,168 equals, I don't know. I'm gonna say 310. 310,000? Let's go with that. 312, sorry. So let's see if that works. Maths is not my strong suit. Amen. You are. Beautiful. This new trailer is really good. I can just get so much more in it, which is nice. First load, 96,000. Beautiful. So we're gonna need probably three more of these. So I'll fast forward through this bit, and I'll see you guys when the last load is ready to be sold. For our final run, and it's actually a lot more money than I thought. I don't know where I got 312,000 from. I think I had 12,000, 12,500 when I started. So we're at about 290 as a profit, and with this 25 liters, that's going to put us up to 340. So The question, are soybeans better than canola? Absolutely they are. They absolutely are. So, let's see. We are now the richest we've ever been. So much so that I actually might pay off some other debt. I paid off 10,000. I worked out how to do that. Let's do that on the way back. But I also need a new harvester. So what I'm going to do is, from now on, now we're in a good spot. Or we're in the best spot we've been in. Repay a loan is triangle, I think. Yeah. So we're down to 80,000. Do one more. 75K. Beautiful. We have 340, which is nice. And we do have a little bit of other income to come. So we've got the goats to sell for a couple of thousand. And then we have the butter and the milk produce to sell in January for probably another 25-ish. And then the rice goes in May, I think. Let's have a look. The rice goes in July. Oh, so that's actually tomorrow. Just as well we hit the gap there, otherwise I'd be in a tree. So we might sell those too and just see what we do. Then what I'll do, I'll come back then, and then we'll have a full accumulation of all of our wealth, which will be nice. Okay, so we're here, and we have a problem. So because I'm lazy and I didn't want to take off the butter and everything, this actually might sell. And I can't reverse this thing because the dolly sucks. But yeah, I don't really want that. But that's not bad. 9,000. Well, wasn't that a complete waste of time? And that included one pallet of something which is worth two. Maybe the right saplings aren't the right idea. But what I have done is I've set them to selling now, not storing. So I'm just going to sell them by month. And maybe that'll help other stuff. Maybe that'll just help with the overheads, the daily production costs. So we're going to leave that here. So now we have loads of money. Let's actually see what's available to buy. Nothing important. I need some advice. So any advice as to what I should do next? I do want a new harvester still, but I don't want to pay for a brand new one. So we're still waiting for one of those. We'll keep like 200 spare. So we have like 150 to go. I think with that, we could go for a new field, but the harvester is the priority because if we do plant something else, I could go into production now, I guess. Maybe look at a dairy or something like that. Not entirely sure. But yeah, I'll have a think about it. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't, dislike it. If you made it to the end, you'll be the first. So just know that you're special. There's nobody else in the world that's ever got through one of my videos. So congratulations. That should make you feel good. Catch you at the next one.